Welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode ng Quadcom -1. Parang may isang nawawala, no? Unfortunately, we don't have our public interest lawyer and LGBTQ activist na si Attorney Jesus Falces. Hopefully we'll have him later this week dun sa mga ibang interactions natin. But today, of course, I'm with my very great friend, our host today, Buya Kasha, Kristan, at saka Mark. Bakit ako lang natansahin yung tatlo, diba? Ako yung pinaka-natan nung ano. And then,
Siya yung tan.
Morning kasi. Ikaw yung tan, ako tanda. Kasi morning pa kasi ako nun 9 a.m. pa lang. I don't know, what time pa kayo dumating dun sa protest?
Nung around 2 p.m., nag-protest ako.
Wala nang
isa dun sa bahay ng mga Diskaya.
Ayun, nakita ko yung picture mo. Ikaw nakita ko yung picture mo. Pero medyo hapon ka na yata.
Yeah,
dumating.
mga 3 na ako nakarating.
Kaya wala
Around
nang sun
that time
nun.
din, kasi hindi kami nakita sa sobrang dami ng tao.
Yes. At saka hindi lang yun, umuulan.
Umuulan.
So, pero na-impress ako na kahit umuulan, yung ating mga kababayan ay talagang handa at hindi umalis. At sumugod talaga na kahit nababasa na, walang pakituloy-tuloy yung laban doon. Which was very impressive to me.
Babalikan natin yan, especially later on pag-usapan natin yung Project 2028 kasi parang show force sa mga pinks yan eh. Talagang grabe. Kung ikaw ay hindi pink para makikita mo what is the direction of the wind. Pero let's start with the most dramatic moments. No? Mark, ikaw, batang Manila ka eh, di ba? So, what happened there in Mendiola? Anong alam natin? Kasi marami nagalit sa akin na minention ko lang daw yung mga DDS ka na. Hindi ko sinabi yung mga DDS ang involved doon sa mga altercation. Pero the DDS were very present in Mendiola. Meron din yung mga makakaliwa na mga grupo din involved. Pero may mga dodgy people, ano yung mga Pirates of Caribbean, ano ba yan?
Nakakasuka, I'm very appalled, and galit na galit talaga ako doon sa nangyayari. So, ang kwento doon sa Sunday Mendiola na riot, I don't even call it a rally. It was a riot. A week before doon sa Luneta, sa September 21 event, I started seeing yung mga mga posts ng mga influencers, may ilang rappers, promoting to wear a black mask tapos pupunta ng Luneta. So, I asked around, yung maganda, pag madami tayong kaibigang vloggers, you follow the money eh. Sundan mo yung pera. Yeah. And merong perang umiikot dun sa mga influencers, dun sa mga So, taka ako bakit? Why are they promoting to wear black mask going to September 21? So at that time, I decided, hindi na ako pupunta sa Luneta. I'm going doon sa People Power Monument. Mas safe siguro. Kasi definitely, something is going on. I have no idea sino yung nagbabayad, who was So, nangyari yung September 21, peaceful yung rally sa Luneta nung umaga, tanghali. Tapos nung hapon, akala ko yun na, wala naman palang nangyari, buti na. Tapos nung hapon, doon na dumating yung mga halo-halo eh, may kabataan, merong mga in their 20s na they weren't there para mag-rally about corruption. Ang nabalitaan ko, ang narinig ko from people on the ground din, sila ay hinakot, dinala sila doon for the sole purpose na mag-riot, manunog ng mga gamit at manaksak
ng pulis
or kung sino siguro, basta manaksak eh.
Ano yung parang may bonus sila for isaksak, ganun eh.
Yun ang pinaka-isang sick part na narinig ko.
Right.
So, syempre tayo, Manila vlogger tayo.
Correct.
I wasn't there, pero ang dami ng mga kaibigan ko nandoon. So, they asked around. Saan ba nanggaling yung mga riotista? Saan nanggaling? So, ang narinig nila, malaking pera yung ginamit just to bring in the groups. Meron pa ako isang narinig, yung mga ibang kids dyan were from gangs.
Yun nga.
Ibang gangs from different places. Meron from Manila.
Parang may mga Jejemon.
Geng-geng ngayon tawag.
Geng-gemon. Diba?
So, gangs were brought in.
Correct.
They were paid this much amount of money. Ang nakakasuka, yung meron pa daw bonus. Ang narinig ko, it was 15,000 pesos. Kung meron kang masasaksak.
Wow, 15,000 pa.
15,000.
Laking bagay yun.
Malaking ano yun, di ba? So, kaya bang tataka ko, ba't ang daming pulis nasaksak? Meron silang mga saksak eh.
Oo.
Sasaksakin yung, di ba? Why would you anger yung mga pulis? Gugulpihin ka, baka magulpi ka talaga.
Gumiba sila diba, at
Yes.
some point. Kasi andun ako sa TV5. I was ready to go in. Biglang nangyari yun. Di na ako tinanong about EDSA eh. Di ba? Kasi grabe yung nangyari. Mga 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. Gumiba yung pulis eh.
Oo, pero yun nga, like I said nga, yung sa kudos to our police, kahit papaano meron pa rin tolerance eh. Siyempre merong mga instances siguro, may napuno din, napikon din, baka ginulpi din nila. Pero as far as I know, no shots were fired coming from the police. At walang casualty nung araw na yon na na-report. Pero,
okay.
tas nakakatawa nga kasi, di ba, iniisip ko, anong goal ng mga riotista? Bakit? So, ang kwento din sa akin, ng mga sources din natin, yung financier nung riot, ang goal nila was to have something similar to Nepal and Indonesia.
Yeah. Pati yung
so,
flags, di ba? Yung parang
mga
pirata.
flags,
ganun,
si One
oh.
Piece.
Exactly.
So, they were trying to copy that. Ang goal daw nila is to have at least one rioter die.
To trigger.
Di ba? To trigger na ano. Kasi ganun yung nangyari sa Indonesia ba?
Indonesia yung Grab driver.
Yung Grab
Oo.
driver. Pero ang laki ng difference kasi yung mga nagrarally siguro sa ibang bansa, they were really passionate siguro.
Yep.
Galit na siguro talaga
At saka yung pulis nila gago talaga.
Oo,
gago
di ba?
talaga yung pulis nila doon.
Gago,
Yeah.
gago pa yung pulis.
Ay,
Ito,
sorry.
bayad. So kung bayad, diba, wala kang ano wala kang paninindigan
Yeah.
talaga dun sa ginagawa mo. Kaya it failed miserably. 'Di ba sa Nepal nasunog parliamentary building. 'Di ba sa
Bahay
Indonesia
ng
mga
ano?
Regional parliament.
regional parliamentary sa Indonesia mga parliament mga buildings
Yeah.
din ng
Pero
government.
sa Nepal, yung
Main.
bahay ng Prime
Bahay
Minister.
ng Prime Minister nasunog din. O sa Pilipinas, ang sinubukan nila sunugin yung Hotel Sogo sa Recto.
So clean, so good.
ba't naman Hotel Sogo sa Recto yung sinubukan yung
Wait, si Robin Padilla pa rin ang endorser ng Sogo.
Hindi na yata.
Yun ang hindi ko maintindihan
Hindi
yung
yata.
for family yung branding tapos Robin Padilla yung ano.
tapos actually ito yung something pa na very troubling pa.
Right.
Okay, so nabuo ko na from first na merong influencers na binabayaran, may mga riotista binabayaran. If they succeeded in doing that or angering people at merong susunod sana, they were going after Malacanang. So it was a coup d'etat talaga.
May sinabi si Topacio, may vigil daw sila, lighter.
Oo, oo nga, binanggit na. And Topacio ba yun? Si Topacio nga ata yun, yung na...
Kaya may lighter.
Oo, na
susugod.
maghanda na daw yung mga lighter. Tapos nung kinonfront siya, tinanong, sabi niya, ay hindi, para sa prayer vigil daw
Oo,
yun.
candle-
Sa Malacanang.
Sa loob ng Malacanang.
Oo, candle vigil. Anong gusto nila gawin? Buong candle is Malacanang. May masamang balak talaga. At ang gusto ko lang malaman ngayon is ano bang gagawin ng gobyerno about it? Are they going to go after itong mga nag-i-incite at nagbayad? Malalaman nila yan eh. Pwede naman lang
They are being traced. Ituloy ko na yung kwento. So, natapos na yung riot, di ba? It was all handled na. Isko Moreno arrived at the scene around 10 p.m.
Yun, pag-usapan natin yan.
Oo, but it was, I thank God na si Isko Moreno yung mayor ngayon, handling all of
Kasi
that.
hands-on siya.
Hands-on siya. Tapos, kumaga yung mga fake news, he was able to, kumaga trusted. Trusted na when he was saying kung ano yung nangyayari. At that night, nung Sunday night, several influencers were starting to post na 30 daw yung namatay.
Grabe.
30.
So
Okay.
they want
Talaga instigation, sedition na yan.
The goal was to
Oo.
anger the people na 30 yung namatay, may police na mamarel. So yun talaga yung ano.
Grabe.
How did I know? Kasi yung iba, mga kaibigan ko.
Sana
Kinausap ko.
screenshot mo, pa-report natin sa NBI mo.
Hindi, nag-screenshot
Pinagsabihan mo
sinend ko
sana,
sa mga
oo.
kaibigan natin sa authorities din. And I was messaging din sila Yorme din that night. Sabi ko, ito yung mga kinakalat nilang fake news.
Oo.
And in fact, Yorme answered that dun sa press con kanina. Na may sumasabi daw na yung mga nagkakalat na 30 daw yung namatay. Kung may namatay na ganyan kadami, nasa morgue yan. So hindi mo matatago eh. So, tapos kanina, may pinresent siya sa public. Nakakaawa. He watch repairman sa Recto. If you pass by Recto, ang dami diyan mga nag-aayos ng relo, di ba?
Correct.
May mga stall sila. So what happened kasi the whole Sunday riot, merong isang casualty. So isang 15-year-old na galing Taguig. Naninira sila ng mga gamit.
Okay.
So they went after itong kiosk nung isang watch repairman.
Oh, shucks.
So the watch repairman, he got a small knife siguro. He defended this place. And dun sa kainitan ng riot,
Bakbakan niya.
he stabbed yung 15-year-old. That kid was brought to Jose Reyes.
Oh my God.
He passed away.
Oh my gosh. Talagang...
So, dalawang sirang buhay.
Dalawang sirang buhay. And the repairman, he went to he surrendered to the police. He was presented earlier by Isko Moreno. And yun nga, sabi niya, walang panalo dito. You have a family in Taguig who is grieving because of the 15-year-old. Tapos you have yung family nitong repairman na nawala yung kanilang nagpo-provide sa kanila. So, galit talaga. And they want to go after yung mga financiers.
Yeah, masterminds na to.
masterminds nitong buong plot na ito.
What do you think?
I think they have to be held criminally liable eh.
Definitely.
At saka nakikita mo ang ginagawa na itong mga politiko na to ay ginagamit nila ang taong bayan eh para sa kanilang mga personal na interest. At nakakasama ng loob siguro ay nakikita natin. At sana talaga nakikita na ng taong bayan to no, na huwag tayong magpapagamit sa mga politiko na to para sa kanilang interes. Wala silang paki sa atin. Pinag-aaway-aaway nila tayong lahat para sa kanila. Not for our own good. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, na this is something that I advocate a lot, na tayong mga Pilipino, magsama-sama tayo laban sa lahat ng mga korap na politiko. Kaya nga maganda na rin na nangyari to as sad as tragic as it is, dahil at least si Isko nagigising din na teka lang. Sino ba yung may kasalanan nito? At teka lang, parang kaalyado ko ata yung may pakanan nito Tapos ginawa nila to sa sarili kong
Hindi naman
lungsod.
nakalado, pero I gets ko what you mean.
Yun
Kumbaga,
eh.
hindi niya titignan yung kulay. Kahit sino ka pa, kahit kaibigan pa kita, kahit, di ba, kahit dito ka sa partido na to, na kaibigan ko. Kapag if you do something to the people of Manila, it is my job to
Yes.
make you pay, to bring justice to Manila.
At tanong ko rin na rin, ano yung nangyari doon sa bata na binuhat ng mga pulis tapos mali yung pagkabuhat, bumagsak. Paano yan na sana naman pinayagan nila magkaroon ng nakakuha ng medical attention because that could be fatal yung ganong shot sa likod ng ulo.
Or mag-comatose,
So may balita ka ba doon?
Kasi magulo ngayon, maraming commotion ngayon sa Manila Police District.
Yeah.
Last Monday, I was there. Merong mga parents nasa labas ng MPD, merong mga nagrarally to free the kids na nandun. So, pinaprocess yung mga bata, yung mga minors, kailangan mo ng DSWD, pinaprocess sila doon, and inaalam kung sino yung the one responsible.
Yung mga nanay kinausap, 'di ba? Yung mga nanay, yung mga sinasabi nila parang hindi rin sila sure ano nangyari diyan, sino nag-recruit sa kanila, what was going on. Yung, parang sinama lang ng mga gangsters diyan, 'di ba?
Nakakaawa yung mga parents nung nandun sa labas ng MPD. Hanggang ngayon, they're still camped outside doon sa MPD. At hopefully yung mga ma-resolve lahat yung kailangang ma-resolve dyan. And yung mga, lalo na yung mga 18 and above, tuluyan talaga, kasuhan talaga ng lahat ng mga damage na ginawa nila and yung mga nasaktan nilang mga police and mga bystanders.
But one interesting thing is like obviously we can talk about the political motivated groups, whether ito yung certain section of the opposition bigla, di ba? Or clearly they'll benefit if bumaksak si Marcos. Meron din grupo na gustong ipabaksak yung buong rehimen, buong estado, so new constitutional order, and then meron din potentially foreign powers na may interest dito. But nevertheless, there's another angle to this, di ba? Baka may mga ibang tao na takot din sila sa nangyaring anti-corruption investigations ngayon na pwede sila matamaan. Meron din silang interest na magkaroon ng gulo, di ba? That's the unfortunate thing is so many groups have an interest in Marcos going down. And a lot of these people actually don't have good intentions. Right? It's not because they're against the Marcos legacy of martial law or Marcos corruption or whatever, right? It's because they're not happy with what's happening. Ikaw, what is your read of the basically Marcos opening up the Pandora's box na yan? And this is hitting everyone right and left, whether his cousin Martin Romualdez, who was now no longer in power, to Cheese, which was a beshi of Liza Araneta, although I know things were not so good recently. Certain probably disagreements, but this could ricochet. Pwede sumabog ito eh.
Well, para sa akin, ang maganda sa nangyayari ngayon, is that Marcos, I think a BBM it's very calculated eh.
Yeah.
But at the same time, of course, we're at the cusp of it could go really bad or it could go really good. And Marcos could either go down as the hero or the anti-hero at this point. Kung mag-succeed yung mga ginawa niyang mga pagkikilos sa mga chess moves lahat to eh. These are all chess moves eh. Pagpalit ng DPWH, pagpalit nung sa Senate presidency, pagpalit ng speakership.
Revamp.
Oo, kahit yung sa pagtanggal kay Torre, lahat to, ang dami itong mga chess moves na ginawa ni Marcos. But these moves, and with the DPWH and the creation of the ICI, they should amount to one conclusion. Tanggal dapat lahat, mahuli ang mga korap, ma-revamp ang buong DPWH, maayos ang Kongreso, maayos ang Senado, magkaroon ng hustisya. Tall order. And it's going to be very difficult. But if he can do that and pull it off, his legacy will be cemented as the one that was able to lessen corruption significantly or at least stop it in its tracks.
Or at least was honest enough to recognize may problema talaga tayo.
Right, okay.
You cannot boast about trillion of flood control and the next thing you know, baha ng baha every week. I think the president was smart enough to realize we cannot pretend any longer, di ba?
It's going to blow up in my face.
Exactly. Might as well, di ba? Get the ball rolling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either it blows up in his face or it blows up on everyone's face na. Ganun
So
na.
Better na ako na yung nag-reveal.
Kumbaga, initchan na niya sa inyo na yung
Can we just
granada.
change the blow in the face? Kung saan tayo mapunta. We will talk about the J&J later on in the next episode. Pero balikan natin yun. So now there are people from Bay Area messaging mo, ito ba si Zaldico? Parang kaano lang namin yan Contractor daw siya. Ganun like lumalas. Grabe, may mga aircraft pala si Kuya.
Yes, oh
Lalo
my
pa niya
God.
Philippine Air Force, di ba?
Yeah, grabe. Yung ilan ang helicopter niya? Parang 3 o 4.
4 pare.
Then, a private jet pa, yung Gulfstream. Ngayon na nagdududa na nga yung mga tao.
Ito, may Bell. May Bell
Lumalabas,
siya,
oh.
may Augusta Westland.
Yeah.
Meron siyang
So, ang
private
tanong,
jet. May dalawang Bell pala niya.
Kanino,
Oh my
kanya
gosh.
ba yung jet na ginamit sa
Gulfstream.
pagpapalipad kay Digong papuntang ICC? O kay Romualdez ba yun? I mean, ilan lang naman ang may jet, di ba? So, I mean, again,
Fighter jet pa.
sa akin, may curiosity lang ako dito kasi ilan lang naman ang may private jet dito sa Pilipinas. Nakakagulat lang ang ilan sa mga merong private jet ay mga politiko. Imbes na negosyante. Mga negosyante nga nakilala ko ng mga bilyonary, walang private jet, tapos itong mga to may private jet eh. Kakaiba eh.
Klase talaga.
Oo. Pero tanong ko din sa inyo, no, yung nangyari naman sa EDSA, ibang-iba sa Mendiola.
Ibang-iba.
Malayo.
Oo, malayo. I would say nga na the protest rallies sa Luneta and yung sa EDSA or a huge success.
Okay.
Ako never mind kahit sabihin mo nang may mga Marcos resign doon. Sa akin galit din naman siguro sila sa corruption, medyo bulag lang siguro sila doon sa corruption ng mga Duterte. Pero at least galit sila sa corruption, they showed up. Pero ako talagang nabigyan ako ng pag-asa seeing all of the people that went there sa EDSA People Power that day, and halo-halo eh.
Yes.
From all walks of life, you would see mga estudyante, mga tatay, mga lolo. And
Sige, I'll put you on the spot. Okay, since ikaw yung models of Manila. Okay. Marami mga nagpakita dyan na tahimik all these years. Hindi ko na sasabihin kung jowa nilang congressman dati or ganyan. Parang marami yata mga for the na nandun. There are also some celebrities who could not make it. Sabi ni Archie, didn't feel safe. But I don't know. Honestly, like let's talk about Vice Ganda, for instance. Okay, ito alam ko galit ng tao, but I felt ito na naman tayo, papatay na lang yung mga korang. Alam mo, that was the Duterte mindset that got us Duterte in 2016. Right. Di ba? And that's the exact mindset that made the Vice Gandas being pro-Duterte back in the day. That's the exact mindset na yung bara-bara na galit lang. Yung pa-IJK na lang. I mean, she didn't say that, right? But yung tone was like, di ba? Tsaka meron tayo isang colleague ko rin na sana mamamatay lahat ng corrupt. Yun ang problema ko eh. Like, if a problem is systemic, you cannot turn it into a witch hunt. Diba? I mean, of course, you have to go against corrupt people. Pero kung gagawin nyo, ito lang yung mga demonyo, pag pinatay natin mayan, okay na lahat, that for me is a very problematic mindset. No less than Cardinal Ambo was the one who immediately criticized yung position ni Vice Ganda. Ingat tayo, let's not go in that direction. So I was a bit worried, to be honest. Like, we have to have a conversation about how we can deal with this issue in a systematic way, which we'll discuss in a different episode. But, so anong take mo dyan sa mga ibang artista na parang nakikisakay na lang, or let's just say bakit ngayon lang sila nagsasalita considering a lot of these people had a lot of political capital for a long time? Kasi I'll be honest, if we had protests like that during Digong's time, I think we would have saved a lot of people from EJK. We would have probably prevented a lot of more Diskaya projects, etc. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, why is this happening in 2025 when so much wrong was already happening throughout the past 10 years? 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. Okay, sige, I'll give you a break nung time ng pandemic, right? But ABS shutdown also happened. Do you get what I'm saying? So a part of me also felt bad na parang, syempre ngayon, masarap mag-protest kasi wala naman risk. Meron ka pang presidente na siya pa nga mismo nagsabi, susali sana ako. Hindi ako. Do you get what I'm saying? So parang, ayoko naman sabihin na lahat nandun ay performative, but a part of me felt na we needed more of these people back in the day, which is what I'm saying. we want people to protest when things are hard, when things are difficult and risky, because that's when you can save the most lives and prevent the worst things. Not now na medyo unfortunate, we're deep into this messy situation. Again, I'm not saying it's the end of the story. We'll have a separate episode on that. But siguro kung ayaw mo sagutin yan kasi nasa-stress ka,
I have an answer.
we'll talk about Xavi then Ipe right after.
Oh.
Guanzon. Si Guanzon, nakala ni Guanzon, makano siya.
Hindi rin.
Oo.
Hindi.
Pero sige, mamaya mga yan. Sige.
Definitely yung panahon ni Digong, there was a big fear.
Fear
Mahirap
factor,
talagang
yeah.
sabi ng nararamdaman, nagsasabi ng corruption. Pero for the longest time, kasi nga, siguro ang difference this year, medyo tanggap natin yung corruption eh.
Yeah.
It's accepted eh. Accepted. Alam naman ng marami, may SOP. Alam naman marami, may vote buying. Pag eleksyon, mamimili si ganitong... Magkano natanggap natin kay mayor, kay congressman, si konsehal, may binigay na ba? May ganun eh. Pero siguro, with the advent din ng social media, tapos with the likes of mga Mayor Vico Soto, and yung mga... Of course, yung sa Pink Movement naman, nakita naman natin, a lot of people showed up. They wanted good governance. Siguro malaking factor din yung level siguro ng corruption eh. Nung lumabas na yung mga Jessica Soho na mga report, nung lumabas na yung billions of peso na kumbaga siguro the level
Nepo
eh.
kids.
The Nepo kids, yun pa.
Flaunting na kasi.
It's one thing na alam mong nagnanakaw, pero when you realize na, uy, teka, billion na ninanakaw ah.
Yeah.
Parang ang nangyaring maganda lang, parang we are now in the stage na we are shaming everyone who is corrupt. Basta corrupt ka, kahit kakampi ka namin, kahit ganitong partido ka, kahit sa kabila ka, kung corrupt ka, isa-shame ka ng tao. 'Di ba? At least magdodoble ingat sila, yung mga anak nila, yung pamilya nila, yung mga sugar babies nila. Magdodoble ingat to flaunt yung mga ninakaw nila. Kasi nasa stage na tayo na hinihiya na natin everyone, anyone who is linked to corruption. Walang pinipili eh. 'Di ba? Kahit yung iba, mga artista, may mga kapag link sa corruption, people are starting to bash to ano yun, na binabash, kino-question ka na. Saan ba galing yung pera nyo? Niyayabang mong yan. Baka pera ng taong bayan yan. So, I think yun yung major difference. Yung level ng corruption ngayon kasi na na-expose is billion na. Tapos, yun nga, nung panahon ni Duterte, you are stifled talaga. Medyo,
Yeah, it's syempre, hindi ma-expose ng paano ng Digong kasi kung na-expose, baka hindi ka na buhay the next day, di ba? I
Yeah.
mean, let's look at the numbers. Discaya's big projects really started 2016, 2017, right? It's not like we didn't have corruption scandal. Farmali, what happened to
Yeah. Wala. Nobody had the balls.
Pogo. I mean,
Pogo.
Takot lahat magsalita nung panahon ni Digong because the way he was doing it was, you speak bad about me or my administration, you're dead.
you're drug list bigla,
Yeah,
narco-politician
magiging
ka. Yeah.
drug list ka na, papatayin ka
mga
eh.
Michael Yang na yan. Noon was talking about it noon, di ba?
Yeah. Harap-harapan na nga ginagawa ni Digong yung mga katiwalian, but everyone was so afraid to speak out, which is why nakakatakot tong yung nangyari back then to today. And that's why I appreciate what's happening now. And for me, I don't blame
Perspective,
I don't blame people, Richard, na back then ba't hindi tayo nagmarcha sa mga kalye nung time na naintindihan ko yung takot eh. There was it was a fear of death or liberty or life yan eh. And that's why most of us did not speak out. And I totally get it. It's okay. But what I'm saying is now at least nga, napuno na ulit ang tao, naglabas na nagkaroon ng lakas sa loob, nagsasalita. Even the way they deal with social media is different. Back then, naalala mo, pag may nagtotroll, tahimik, hindi ka lalaban sa troll, takot ka eh. Ayaw mo, ikaw yung ibabash eh. Di ba, nasistress ka, ayoko na lang tignan yung social media. Ngayon, pag bumanat ang troll, 100, babanatan yung troll. Kasi gago ka, troll ka.
Ito bago.
Oo, talagang ipunin mo yung kinikita mong sasaksakin ko sa mukha mo yung pera na kinikita mong para sa kung saan mo pinagkakakitaan eh.
Are you familiar dun sa issue ngayon kay Lakong TV? That's a very good example. Yung mag-asawa, of course, I love them both. Sobrang nakakatawa sila, mababait naman sila. They want to speak up about corruption nung Sunday, nung 21, di ba? Tapos people started showing receipts. You speak about corruption now, pero nung last election, si V was in a video with Camille Villar. Parang promoting Camille Villar.
Yeah.
And si Kong TV was an endorser nung Solid North Party list naman. So parang kumbaga kahit yung mga celebrity endorsements.
Yun ang I'm sorry, this is what I'm saying. Like nakikisa kayo ba for the I mean, I'm sorry.
It's good. It's good na we are having that conversation kasi the next elections, medyo magdodoble ingat na yung mga endorsers. Hindi yung basta-basta lang tatanggap lang for the money, para sa pera, tapos biglang anti-corruption ka na the following month or the following year.
Okay.
So yun yung...
Or kasama, or in-endorse mong unit team in 2022, ngayon biglang nakikiping ka na. I'm sorry.
Hindi, sige, for me ganito lang. Maybe I'm a little bit more forgiving kasi for example, di ba itong si Shuvi yung sa PBB?
Yes, so.
Ngayon lumalabas na dati pala siyang DDS o sinuportahan niya yung drug war ni Duterte. So ngayon parang, ba't ngayon biglang ano ka na ngayon, for good governance ka na, ganyan. So nag-apologize siya sa akin kasi, guys, I think karamihan naman sa atin, maraming mga kababayan natin did vote for Duterte. Marami na nagbagong isip. We have to give people a chance to be able to see, nga, no, my God, I thought wrong and I'm thinking better now. For example, kahit yung mga party list na yan, tignan mo kung sino nag-endorse sa kanila. Sino yung mga mukhang ginamit na sa party list? Yung ako, Bicol, sino ginamit nilang endorser? Sikat na artista to, nakalista. Jericho Rosales. Pero Jericho naman, we didn't know that Zaldico was this corrupt 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Well, at least he could have background check. Magaling ba tong congressman? May ginawa ba siyang ganun?
Ang point ko lang
anong
is...
galing niya? Okay, sabi natin hindi corrupt. Ano yung galing niya?
Right,
what is achievement? Yun ang point ko. Like, we should... Tama yung sinabi ni Vico. We should denormalize certain things.
I know.
And kasama dyan is yung artista, may congressman lang, may ganito. Sige, endorse ka na. Good, goody. Ganito na. Sorry, bro. I mean... Again, tapos na yung panahon. For me, I'm glad nagkaroon ng enlightenment na mulat yung iba. In the meantime, patay na si Kian de los Santos. Maraming namatay na hindi na mabalik ang buhay. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm sorry I'm doing this, bro.
No.
Pero, as someone who studied protests in Russia, in China, countries na 10 times worse ang mangyayari sa'yo, and yet hundreds of thousands of people show up in protests, etc. We can talk about Russia in Moscow pro 2011. We can talk about in Middle East, maraming places na pwede ka mapatay, but yet people come out. So, I just felt, meron tayong isang kultura kung saan we only protest when it's convenient to protest and all. And hindi, sayang, wala na tayong magagawa. Ganyan na talaga. Or all you have to do is just to say sorry. So for 10 years, you enable EJK for 10 years. Tama yung sinabi ng isang vlogger. Why not, let's look at all those vloggers who amplified the Duterte message that allowed for all of these bad things to happen. All they have to do right now is to message and say, hindi na ako DDS, okay na ako. Where's the accountability?
Okay, I understand.
Kasi you cannot just hold the congressman na corrupt na accountable or senator na corrupt na pag-usapan natin. But these people who were purveyors of disinformation, who amplified fake news, who fed into this fear, fiery, parang patayin na lahat yung mga ubusin na yan, they should be held accountable. I'm sorry, sorry won't be enough for me.
So for me, it's just siguro.
And then, pupunta ka pa sa rally ngayon, nagmamaganda ka na anti-corruption ka and pro-human. Yun ang ayoko, bro. I'm sorry, like, I have higher standards for what a mature democracy should look like. Because if we'll get another Duterte na naman, tapos we'll be tahimik na naman for 6 years, hoping baka ba... I mean, let's be honest.
There's a big chance that we'll get another
Duterte. I mean, let's be honest. Aside from that, let's be honest. If BBM didn't turn out as a pleasant surprise, quote unquote, tapos na ang usapan. Wala nang democracy, pare. If BBM was really the BBM that many people feared he would turn out to be, together with Sara, kung buo pa rin ang unity ngayon,
ubos ang demokrasya.
Tapos na usapan Kaya sabi ko, sometimes I believe it's too late. Or sometimes I believe medyo the damage has been done. Do you get what I'm saying? Kaya nga, I think we have to have some reckoning with our silence and even the complicity of a lot of people with the damages done to our democracy and all.
Yun ang question siguro.
Pag-usapan natin. Okay lang ba na mag-sorry lang siya? Okay na sa akin yan?
Richard, ganito. I just want to sort of cut you off, pero it's this if you're a public figure, I understand you have to be held more accountable. Pero kung back then, hindi ka public figure, tapos may sinusuportahan ka, na wala ka namang influence, iba din yun.
But if you have 5 million followers, I think you're a public figure.
Absolutely. And the public figures, I think, have to be held more accountable. But when you say reckoning, what would you prefer? Na sabihin na lang nga nila, sige, I made a mistake, now is my chance to speak out against what I used to believe, which now can influence it a certain way? Or what? You want something punitive na kailangan maparusahan sila, ganun ba?
Or at the very least,
stay silent forever.
Well, I would rather switch sides and speak out because that's 5 million followers that binanatan, gusto nila ito dati kay Duterte, ngayon nakita nila mali pala. I'm gonna shift my base to the right side. Perfect example, Jam Magno. DDS, 100% DDS. Biglang bam, ngayon sinasabi niya ayoko manalo si Sara. Alam mo ba kung ano mangyayari sa Pilipinas kung manalo si Sara? That's a strong voice because she was one of the
But
main...
did she question the Marcos legacy, the martial law? Did she question all the EJKs happened? It's my point. Like, I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I mean, for me, tactically, we have to win over as many people to the good side, given yan. Pero yung mga big public figures with hundreds of
Yes.
thousands and millions of followers who did so much damage to our society, hindi sapat sa akin na ibahin lang nila yung tono nila, mag-sorry lang sila, magpakita sila over the weekend. Repentance. Dito, Cayetano, I believe dito. Agree ako. Siguro, this is where the Cayetano principle applies. Di ba? Yung sinabi niyang kapatid niya, mag-apply sa politiko. Pero yung sinabi ni Alan Peter, mag-apply at least sana sa mga bloggers and influencers na nag-amplify ng message of darkness and all of that. So, mag-repent ka. Anong ibig sabihin ng repentance? I-booking mo yung mga kalokohan na alam mo back in the day or sabihin mo, ito, kasi may bayaran. Do you get what I'm saying? Redemption arc. I want redemption
People will call you out din naman eh. Di ba parang good example ngayon kay Chavit. Di ba? He was trying to portray himself as one with the people against corruption. Di ba? Pabagsakin yung
Pambihira.
corrupt na
Siyempre,
government.
hero siya kasi
And
siya yung
the
nagpabaksak
people
ng
showed
weteng.
him na what they thought of him when he walked along EDSA, di ba?
Yeah. Kadiri
people
talaga.
Kahit pa paano mas discerning na yung alam na nung tao na kung kailan yung if you're really sincere, if you're really kung nagre-repent ka talaga doon sa ano mo, doon sa pero tama yung sinabi mo, kailangan mong ilabas yung lahat ng alam mo about
Hindi ko sinabi na...
So not just what's happening now. Speak of the past. How you
Tumulong
were
ka para ayusin yung
how you were
sistema.
wrong and I need to...
Kung may alam ka about sino mga corrupt, sinong pumatay, kung pwede mo tulungan yung mga biktima ng EJK, bigyan mo ng may platform ka, million ng followers mo. Baka gusto mo interview yung nanay ni ganito, na yan,
Right.
Di ko I'm saying.
Hindi lang yung sorry ka lang,
Repentance ba?
okay na,
Yeah,
pati
exactly.
na tayo.
Hindi pwede sorry lang sa akin. You know why? Alam mo naman yun yung mga pasaway sa eskwela, sorry lang sa teacher, tapos balik na naman sa kalokohan. Kaya nga repentance is part of character building. In fact, it's good for them. Na sana yung platform nila, it will be turned for something good. So ito yung mga vloggers na nag-endorse ng mga masasamang politiko, let's say. Sana next, libre. Endorse nila yung mga magagaling na politiko. Or ngayon, meron ka maraming followers. Pumunta kay Vico. Pakita mo yung what is a day in the life of a good mayor. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, I'm all with you. We want to win over as many people. I'm not here to put them in the line. Di ba? Hindi tayo dito French Revolution, Reign of Terror. But I want repentance. Meaning, talaga may recompense dapat. Hindi pwede mag-sorry ka lang, okay na tayo. Bawi ka.
Pero ito
kasi,
naman yung- sige.
malaki rin ng ano nila no all this years. So,
malaki
they can
pinagkakataan
afford
nila.
to do free endorsements now, probably.
Ito naman
yeah?
yung medyo pwede namang sabihin nung sa other side. Hindi kaya na when we're parang asking them na kailangan ganito ka, mag-repent ka, mag-ano ka, hindi naman parang masyado naman tayong parang put ourselves masyado on a pedestal na holier than thou. May ganun.
No, it applies to all of us. It applies to all of us. Like ako, nung first few months in Digong, I supported a more critical policy towards the West, etc. Kaya yung mga DDS, akala na DDS ako, marami ta. So, as soon as the EJ case was happening, I changed tone, etc. I made it very clear. So, ako, in my own way, I made sure na if ever I was not tough enough on Duterte, I will double down. Kaya ang sobrang aggressive yung messaging ko. Basically, it kind of killed some of my media career in the Philippines. But I couldn't care less, diba? Because I built an international profile. But ang point ko is, all of us in our own little way, we have to be apologetic for not doing good enough. Because libo sa... This applies to us, by the way. Ha? I'm not saying ako ay perfect. Even to myself, I always say, Richard, have you done enough to help your country? Whether it's damage control, whether it's reconstruction, or whether it's prevention of damage. Kaya nga yung ICC kino-cover ko, kaya nga I try to go to Hague. I use my own funds and my own savings.
Right.
It's my own way of being there for them when I feel I couldn't be there for them. I was a resident analyst in the two biggest network. I don't think I could be an activista 100%, right? I was an activist on West Philippine Sea and all of that. But there are other issues na feeling ko kulang yung ginawa ko. So, ngayon, I am trying to recompense in a way. I'm thinking about, I met families of the victims of EJK. Sisters, mothers. They come to me, they say, walang pumunta sa amin or binubuli kami online.
Pag-ilog.
Tignan mo, ang daming interviews with Attorney Christian Aconte. I'm hoping, this is my way. Not because I supported the Duterte drug war, but because I feel I didn't do enough to fight against that, because I was so focused on the West Philippines issue where I believe I really did my best, but I feel I could have even done more. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So thank
Okay.
you for asking that question. Richard Idarn is not saying this because Richard Idarn is perfect and no, all of us nagkulang tayo.
Kulang. It's also worth saying then.
Sorry, ang kape kasi niya.
Not
medyo
many of yung mga
Yung kape.
artista, influencers, celebrities na nagsasalita ngayon, were parang medyo umiiwas sila sa politika in the past. Kasi there's always that parang rule na you don't want to lose market value, you don't
Right.
want to lose fans. So most of them are quiet about corruption, about politics. So merong sadyang pag-iwas eh. Ang nangyari siguro lately, parang mas naging cool na eh. It became it became the other way around. If you're a celebrity and you don't speak out about corruption, anong tinatago mo? So parang ganun yung nangyari nitong mga huling buwan, which is a good thing din. Kasi more voices speaking out against corruption, the stronger the movement becomes.
Pero I wanna add, Richard, that yung sa akin naman, when I was mentioning na maybe
Dumami yung viewers,
maybe you
pinituloy natin.
didn't know better, maybe they didn't know better. Ito ibig ko sabihin.
Agree ako dyan.
May mga iba
Agree ako
kasi
dyan.
talaga
Agree ako dyan.
na hindi nila alam. Like for example, Heart Evangelista. Who, parang mayaman, artista. Nobody ever connected na, wait a minute, hindi ko din na-connect eh. No, wait, I didn't know $1 million pala yung diamante niya. Yung, hindi ko
Which is her total earning in a year at best.
Right, yun na
Just
nga.
like one picture lang.
Tapos may isa pa binigay na yung mga parang binibili niya or yung mga ibang artista na parang okay for example yung si Enchong D is a good example. He called out this party list Enchong D called out this party list representative for this lavish wedding. Dinimanda siya. Napa-apologize pa siya. Pero now that we're looking back, teka lang, he was actually probably right. Pero nobody knew.
Nobody supported
No,
him.
why? Because nobody knew how to look at the evidence. Yun ang point ko. Kaya ang hirap magsalita.
Or tama yung sinabi na, we just normal lang ganyan.
Hindi normal, Richard. Kasi kahit ako nung nakita ko yun, sabi ko, actually, tingin ko tama naman si Enchong D eh. Pero, paano ko ipoprove na talagang nakaw, galing sa nakaw yung pera? Hindi ko, ngayon lang lumalabas ang flood control. Now we realize this, now we know. Now people are speaking out. And it's programs like this that teach people, ganito yung nakawan, ganito yung ginagawa. Kaya malakas loob natin magsabi ngayon. Kaya ngayon, I wonder, baka pwedeng bisitahin ulit tong party list na to. Tignan nga natin kasi baka nga meron siyang kontraktor na kumpanya o kamag-anak o kaya siya mismo may mga insertion sa kanyang distrito. Vindicated ngayon si Enchong D. And now, if I were him, I would sue them. On top of all the other things.
Yeah, again, that's the other reason we're doing this, right? Kasi na-realize ko, now to be fair to Vice Ganda, to be fair to a lot of our friends and celebrities, pinag-usapan din natin mga ibang kaibigan natin, wala naman silang political orientation the way some of us had. Wala naman ideology. Yung puso lang ginagamit nila kasi syempre naramdaman nila yung galit ng tao. Syempre they care for the country. So Vice Ganda is doing this from the goodness of her heart, right? Pero walang framework. Kaya nga sabi ko, kaya nga ginagawa natin yon. I mean, in my own little way, I'm trying to reach out to people. So magkakaroon tayo ng basically a kind of a science to understanding how politics works. Or at the very least, magkakaroon tayo ng framework of understanding. Kaya itong mga platform na ginagawa natin, again, thanks to you, dun sa kabilang channel, thanks to you, of course, you got me into this business of vlogging, na-realize na we have to reach out more to the people.
Yes.
Yung ginagawa natin ngayon yan, ni Carlo Ople, yung creators against corruption. Just trying to strengthen or kumbaga bigyan ng additional tools yung mga creators and knowledge about dun sa nangyayari, di ba?
And I want to add with regards to that, na if you're an influencer, meron kang following, whether you're in fashion or whatever you're influencing.
Si Nika, di ba? Start siya fashion. Si Nika, di ba? Fashion yung background, tapos economics. And tingnan mo, ang ganda ng transition niya.
Hindi ko alam yun. Before fashion pala.
Hindi ko alam yun. Pero yun yung sa akin karamihan ng mga influencers, please use your voice properly. Not just to influence what you're wearing today or yung next new dance nyo. Let's be a little bit more substantive with our content. Yun I mean, I'm not saying you get all political. Lifestyle is all good. I'm just saying na lagyan natin ng konting laman na para namang maka-influensya tayo ng mas maayos. That's what I liked about Carlo Ople. Kasi even when he was doing shoe reviews, he would always tell people, pero kung hindi mo ito ma-afford, huwag kang bibili na ito.
Yeah.
Pag-isipan mo muna yung sweldo mo. Magkano ba kinikita mo? Kaya mo ba itong bilhin? At ano ba mas importante, itong sapatos o yung kita mo? So he was always injecting this parang life lesson of some sort. And yun ang kulang natin. And I really think that what's happening now is helping that. Now, for the regular person naman na nanonood ngayon, na dati nga tahimik dahil nga sa ayaw nila nagsakit ng ulo. Guys, alam mo, yung sakit ng ulo andito na. And for me, pag may mga comments kayo, sabihin niyo yan sa social media. Express your indignation. Huwag na kayong tahimik. Because again, we've always said this, like Richard said kanina nga, the complicity, your silence is your complicity. Yan ang nagkukos ng mga authoritarian governments. Kaya itong mga kalukuhan ng mga korupsyon ay dahil sa complicity nating lahat. The less we speak, the more they become brazen. Kaya kailangan tayo lahat magsalita. Hindi lang enough na tayo nagsasalita, tayong mga like with a voice. The people on the comment section, they're very important sa labanan na to because the trolls, marami po yan. At they're so determined because of the money they get. This is why you're as important to this fight as we are. Lahat tayo magsama-sama tayo dito. Honestly, nung sinabi nga sa akin na, Sarali, I'm sure you guys got this, nandun kayo. Thank you for what you do. You know what I always tell them? No. I get my strength from all of you. Ang tapang ko, na sinasabi nyo matapang ako, nakukuha ko yan sa inyo kasi kayo mismo ay sumasagot sa comment section, tumutulong kayo na lumaban sa mga bashers at mga trolls. Nakukuha ko yung tapang ko sa inyo and I need you. We need you guys as much as you're saying you need us. So symbiotic to. This is how we help each other because there is safety in numbers, in the collective. With this collective voice, that's why malakas ang loob ng tao. Murahin si Chavit Singson sa kanyang ginagawa. Because for the longest time, we all know how, oh my God, how much of a... I don't even want to say that he's a human being and what he has done. Alam na natin, nakitang-kita. Ngayon lang nagkalakas loob ang mga tao magsalita. At ngayon lang nagkaroon ng lakas ng loob ang gobyerno natin na tingnan din yung mga kalokohan na to.
So tama lang ginawa kila Guanzon, Ipe, yung mga...
Oh.
They were shouted out.
Si Ipe, I'm sorry. I'm glad that he felt that in Guanzon. I don't understand this woman. She is... I just don't I think she enjoys this.
Ano ba rin mo kay Guanzon?
Opportunistic.
Ano akala?
Yun lang yun?
No, but, ano akala na hindi nakikita ng tao na nandun siya sa, ano? Like, I mean, like,
She's claiming to be fake.
Opportunistic eh. After she went down doon sa Comelec, after yung position niya sa Comelec, ang goal niya is to be to be elected to be in power, 'di ba? Nakita niya na so kung saan path siya tingin niya ay makakakuha ng boto ng fans ay doon siya pumupunta. Pero awa ng Diyos, hindi pa rin siya nakakapasok doon sa Congress, di ba? Nung lumalakas sila Lenny, kakamping siya. Doon siya. Pero after nanalo yung party list niya, a week after pa lang, may picture na sila ni Martin Romualdez.
Sandro.
Sandro. Sasama siya sa majority. Kung you got elected by the kakampings, pero hindi ka man lang naghintay ng isang buwan. 1 week pa lang, kasama mo na kaagad sila Martin Romualdez and the people who voted you, that's not what they want. Di ba? So,
pero nakakalungkot kasi she actually represents a very important sector, yung PWDs and all. I can relate because my dad is PWD. So, nalungkot lang ng iba. And she's smart. And then, you know, like, ang tapang niya nung time nung nasa Comelec, pushing for disqualification of Bibi. She was a hero to a lot of people. Kaya, honestly, medyo nakakalungkot lang nangyari. But I hope we can move in the right direction. Anyway, ang puso, medyo, I think, naghawaan na tayo ng galit. But you can see where I'm coming from.
Yes.
Kaya we have to do this, continuous lang gagawin natin. I think by admitting that we could have done more in the past, that could pressure us to do more now and in the future. Kasi andito pa rin yung ating bayan, yung minamahal natin ng bayan. And speaking of that, para naman medyo good vibes tayo, pag-usapan natin, J&J, the latest episode. Galit sa corruption. Kagabi man, muntik ng with Kiko eh. So sa next episode, guys, pag-usapan naman natin ang Jinggoy and Joel and ingat na lang tayo sa mga drama na nangyari sa ating minamahal Senado. Tsaka ito na, Mark Oleta strikes again. Pinagsabihan ni Lacson. So pag-usapan natin ang hearing because that's your shtick, right?
Yeah, that's it, guys. So if you like this content, guys, sulat lang yung mga comments dito sa comment section sa ibaba. And make sure to follow up on the next episode where we talk about all those...
J&J.
Si Jing Jo or si Jo Jing, yung couple name na yan. Alright, we'll see you guys.